Wisconsin Aging Groups. They got started 34 years ago when 5,500 seniors and their kids marched on the state capitol. And because of that, they were able to get senior centers around the state, nutrition programs, affordable housing for the elderly, as well as transportation. When I interviewed for this job 2 years ago, we talked about that if there's a change in leadership in Madison, we'll probably have to demonstrate again. Well, it became a lot faster than a lot of us expected. CWAG is part of the Survival Coalition. We work very closely with ARP and other aging organizations, and also with the Greater Wisconsin Area Agencies on Aging. Our board of directors consists of 27 elected members throughout the state, representing all 72 counties. We have Republicans and Democrats and independents on our board, and last week they all voted unanimously to oppose this bill. Sentinel Journal, the Wisconsin State Journal, the Capital Times, they've all come out uniformly and have clearly stated that the process needs to be slowed down, that you got to get the public policy issues out front and not part of this bill. So let's call it what it is. It's a power grab, it's a cram down, it's a threat to democracy, and it's a divide and conquer strategy. That's what we're talking about. Democrats would still be in this room. It's a power grab based upon everything that the speakers have said here today. All the way down to splitting off the university. You want to create jobs, but you're going to privatize the University of Wisconsin-Madison? I guess if you're a dropout from college, you don't care about it. The fact of the matter is, we need to protect it, and it's a power grab. Crammed down last week, the Assembly, before the start of the convening of the Assembly chambers, the majority party came in, called everyone in, called a voice vote, passed this bill before the minority party ever entered the chamber. And because they legally challenged that, they're now going to look at the amendment process on Tuesday. That's a cram down. When you look at divide and conquer, we're going to exempt some unions, we're not going to exempt others. But boy, those unions gave us money to our campaign, so we have to protect them. And from the standpoint of the other issues, it is a threat to the history of the state. There's a great quote that was discovered in 1989. It said, "Many people in many places with many small ideas can change the world." That quote came from the graffiti on the wall of the Berlin Wall when it came down. And if they can make those changes in Europe under the pressures they did, we can make the changes here. Now, how do we translate this to action? There are 4 key people in the Senate to stop this bill. And if you know people who live in their districts, start calling them and start talking to these people and talk about the values, about the direction, and what this means. It is Sheila Harsdorf in the Northwest. It's Rob Coles in Green Bay. It's Mike Ellis, and it's Dale Schultz. Those are 4 key critical votes. And they right now haven't made a commitment to pass this bill. Write them, tell them you need their help, tell them how important it is, and remind them of the Republicans in the state historically that have shaped our progressive history, that believe in values from Bob La Follette to Warren Nose to Lee Dreyfus, and yes, from Tommy Thompson, who basically had good union relationships and worked fairly. We may not agree on a lot of the issues, but they were there, along with many of the Democrats. And lastly, when you talk about the cost, we all have to accept blame here. It started with Scott McCallum when he used $1 billion of tobacco settlement money to fill a gap. That was a waste. And then it was smoke and mirrors, unfortunately, under the last administration. This issue was created by the lack of involvement and complacency. But it's here, and now we have to deal with it. And if this administration thinks it can cost cut its way into prosperity, we will become the Mississippi of the Midwest. And our kids, these 250,000 jobs they're talking about, our kids will be flipping burgers because you can't do that doing what they're doing. First bill that came through in this legislature, court reform. How does that create jobs? But if you're in a nursing home now, which if this bill passes, many more people are going to go in there, you won't be able to sue nursing homes for neglect and abuse and outright murder because of neglect. So it's amazing what's going on. But we all have to come together. We need to reach out across the aisle, and we need to get organized. Whether we win next week or not, we have a long journey.
We will win.
This is a marathon. and we need to pace ourselves, but we cannot let up. Thank you very much.